everybody. Welcome to this edition of Robyn2Resale, hashtag the lazy lister. I know it is May and maybe June by the time this goes live, but we're doing what's sold in February of 2022 on the RealReal. I do apologize for my lack of consistency. I'm getting used to this YouTube thing and all of the other stuff that goes with it, as well as I've started doing more of my own listing because the RealReal keeps sending things back. So the lazy lister has had to get her tush in gear. For the month of February, there were, I think, 136 items, and the RealReal gave me a payout of $2,660.76. This month, I spent, the month of February, not May, $1,366.20. Those two things do not correlate at all because when you buy stuff with the RealReal and send it in, it takes a long time for it to sell. Well, back up. It takes a long time for it to ship, be processed, get on the site, and sell. And then you have to wait 21 days after it's sold because they have a 21-day return period. Just to recap about the payout schedule, it appears, and I didn't get this email, but some of my friends did, that they're going to change the payout schedule again. In the past, anything that was below $95 when I first started, you got 40%. This year, they changed it to 30%, which was annoying but doable. And now it appears anything that they mark below $50, you're only going to get 20% of. And that is questionable because the problem is you don't know what they're going to list it at when they put it on the site. So from now on, I am clearly only going for high ticket items. I'm done with Michael Kors, unless it's shoes, belts, or bags, because it's really, I guess they have too much clothing, and it's a little frustrating. Also, just not knowing what's going to get labeled. Again, I've talked about ties, and I'm done because the only tie, like I said, that they price over $50 really is Hermes. And so, and ties, as much as I love finding a tie, unless I can get it for free, I'm not sending it. So let's get to the business at hand. I'm going to stick with my top 5 items that made me the most money, or there's kind of a combo, the ones that sold for the most. And I also want to talk about the brands that sold the most. And I also am going to throw in some pictures of things that aren't clothing, because a lot of resellers limit ourselves to clothing, especially women's clothing. And again, the market is oversaturated, which is why I think when you give them a St. John knit that we all know, if you go to Saks and buy brand new, the tank tops now are going for almost $500. So for them to list them at $40 is kind of a stab in the gut. Now, obviously, a new with tag they might list for $65, but don't bet the house on it. So what I want to do is go through some of the items. I'm recording this a little differently than normal. So I usually see the roll that you see, but instead I'm going to record me and then implant me because I'm working, with this video editing thing and learning everything. So let me tell you about my top 5 sales. Okay. This was great. I bought this, I guess, last year in 2020. I'm looking over here because my screen is up with all the information, so you don't have to hear the paper rustling, because that's annoying if you have this in your ear. Sorry, I just did it. I know. Oh, and don't mind the pile behind me. Just ignore it. My floor is clean, though, so I'm super happy. Okay, my top 5 sales. Number 5 is a Tumi rolling nylon carry bag. So it's a computer bag. I paid $10 for it. I bought it last year at a Goodwill somewhere in the DC, Virginia, Maryland area. It sold February 2nd. It sold for $156. I got 50%, so I got $78. I paid $10, so my profit was $68. Now, we all know, and I want to say that they sent it back. You know, they didn't approve it the first time, excess wear or whatever. Maybe they did. I don't know. We all know Tumi suitcases in the Tumi store cost a lot more than $156. So that person got a steal and I made a great profit. The next thing that was number 4, I should probably have like big flashy numbers. Sorry, I'm not that advanced. And if I do that, it'll take me even longer to get the video out. My 4th top seller, I'm not kidding y'all, don't skip belts. This was a Yves Saint Laurent belt. I paid $3 for it. Again, I bought it at a Goodwill in DC. I paid $3 for it. It sold for $165 at a 50% profit. I mean, a 50% payout, sorry. And, oh, sorry. My bad. I'm looking at the wrong thing. No, I'm not. Wait, I had to. Oh, it is a 50%. Sorry, 50%. You'll see why I made the mistake in a minute. So my payout was $82.50. I paid $3. So I basically made like a $79 profit. Again, I bought this sometime in January and it sold February 27th. So number 3 was, oh, it's so nice. I really wanted to keep this. You know, when you find stuff out in the wild and you're like, oh my God, this would be great, but I so don't need it. This is an MZ Wallace, which is a brand that's very new to me. I've never owned one before. I love them. Now when I see people carrying them, I'm like, oh, that's a nice bag. It's a MZ Wallace tote, nylon tote. It sold for $188 on February 28th, so it just made the cutoff. I sent it in December. It was a 70% commission because it was over, I guess when they originally listed it, it was over $195. So they paid me $131.60. I believe I paid $10 for it. And it also says I got it at a Goodwill. So awesome. Number 2, and this is why I got confused about the payout with the YSL. This Yves Saint Laurent wool overcoat sold for $284. So it was a 70% payout commission. I made $198.80. I paid up for this one. I paid $17 for it, guys. $17. And I did not find this at a Goodwill. I have much better luck with really nice men's wool coat or women's wool and cashmere coats at the bigger, not the Salvation Armies and the Goodwills, but more of like the Second Avenues and things like that. Let's see, let me look up the links of what they're called. I know Second Avenue, and I think that's it. And they're in Northern Virginia. This might have been one in Maryland. My oldest had a swim meet, and we weren't allowed in. You know, it was in. Well, it says I sent it in December, and it sold in February 15th. So my oldest had a swim meet, and I'm assuming with COVID precautions, it was up at College Park. So it was Maryland then, so it was Prince George's County, and I paid a whole $17 for it, but it was a full-length Yves Saint Laurent coat. Like, I couldn't pass it up. It may have needed some mending at some point, which I did. And then, right, we'll put the drum roll sounds in. I guess we don't need to since I just did. My number 1 seller, profit maker, was a Versace leather clutch. My friends, this sold for $316. I got 70%, which is $221.20. I paid $6 for it, so I made $215.20. I sent it in at the end of the year last year. I either got it at a Second Avenue, a Savers, or a Goodwill. I'm sorry, I don't know exactly. It sold on the 16th of February. This is a cosmetic bag, but they called it a leather clutch, and it's non-returnable. Wow. So those are the kind of things that make the RealReal worth it. Because if I would have listed that myself, I probably would have listed it for like $25 and taken an offer for $20. But instead, it sold for $316 and they processed it, and that's great. Okay. Next, I wanted to talk to you about brands. The brands that sold. I'm going to go through the brands first. I know this is really technical, and often I find this dull, but people have asked me to give this information. So if it's dull to you, I apologize. It's kind of annoying for me just to read it off. It's not my personality, as you know, but if that's what you guys want, then hey, who am I to say no? All right. Adidas, I sold 6 items. They ranged in price on the RealReal from $40 to $10. So my commission ranged from $12 to $4. Burberry sold 2 items. They ranged in price from $36 and $28. So my commission was $10.80 and $8.40. Y'all, Burberry, for some reason, they're not so into men's blazers. I mean, I know people don't wear blazers that much anymore. Trust me, I know, but Burberry, they don't price high. Okay, Columbia, 7 items sold, and it ranged from $40 to $17.50. So my payouts were $12.25 to $5.25. 2 pair of Fry boots sold. One was $101, one was $105. So I made $52.50 and $40.50. 4 things from Kate Spade sold. They range from $52 to $15 in sales. This isn't the original list price. It usually never is. Remember, the RealReal often marks things down right after they list them. I'm sure it's a psychological thing. And people usually have a coupon code they can use as well. There's usually a 20% off coupon code, or they mark it down 20% within the first minute of them listing it. So these are probably not the original prices. You'll be able to see the original prices if I took a screenshot of it and I'm flashing them up in front of you, which I'm hoping to do. Ooh, this shirt, sorry. Okay, next up, 11 items from Michael Kors sold. They ranged in price from $76 to $7.50, and so my payout ranged from $22 to $3. What made me money in Michael Kors was belts. Number 1, belts for Michael Kors make more money than shoes, and definitely clothes. Clothes, I think they're oversaturated again. Still nothing killer going on here with prices. Nike, I sold 9 items that ranged from $20 to $5, and my payouts were anywhere from $10.50 to $2. Yippee! Stuart Weitzman sold 5 items, $40 to $20 range, and the payouts were $24.50 to $8. 4 things from Theory sold, $44 to $30, and the payouts were $13.02 to $9. Tiffany and Company, I sold a belt. Don't skip the belts. I don't know if I wrote down the price for it. Sorry. 3 items from Vince, 6 Yves Saint Laurent, including the 2 items that I told you about. So they ranged from $284 to $20. And the payout for me ranged from $198 to $6. The tiers, I wrote down kind of what broke down with YSL because I thought it was really interesting. Obviously, that long coat was the most expensive. Then came the belt, then shoes, then clothes, and then ties. Dunzo. I need to keep saying this to myself. Stop buying ties. I know my Jenny, she loves the ties, but they're not worth it anymore. All right. Now let's move on to the price breakdown. It's frustrating, and especially if this new pricing system is true, we're going to have to make some adjustments, major adjustments in my sourcing. Items from $0 to $9.90, 51 items. $10 to $25, 65 items. $26 to $50. No, this is my payout. Sorry, I didn't clarify. This is my payout, not what it sold for. Because, I mean, honestly, that's not what I have to report. So, $26 to $50 was 4 items. 50 to 100 was 9. So, we're looking up. 100 to 200 was 3 items. And 200 to 300, which was just the clutch one. So, February, my sales definitely weren't as yippee as my January sales, but it's okay. I also wanted to tell you what was the longest on site. Oh, and I've talked about this sweater before. It's this Ungaro vintage 1980s dinner sweater. It was one of my first, maybe my second times ever sending anything to the RealReal. Must have been my second, but it was like a week later, or maybe it was in the same shipment, because it was June 16th of 2021, and it sold February 4th, 2022. It was originally, I want to say like $485. I almost died when I saw that. But what it did sell for was $106.25, and I was at the 70% commission rate, so I was paid $74.38, and I paid $5.50 for it. So I made a profit of $69.38, which for my like second like big find, I was so excited. Yeah, that was awesome. The thing that spent the least time on the site, and I'm not sure if I'm going to put a picture of it up, it's just Stuart Weitzman pair of shoes. They got there on they got processed and put up on the site on the 13th of February and sold on the 20th. Also, I had this Sandro blue and white t-shirt. It's cute. They put that one up on the 4th. It sold for $40. I got $12. They put it up. It's sold on the 20th of February. These Marmont ski pants got there on the 3rd of February and sold on the 25th. Again, $40, $12 profit. Let's see if I made some more notes down at the bottom here for you. Oh, another big whatever. And if you listen to the Thrifter Sisters podcast, they just interviewed me. Thanks, girls, Lacey and Lindsay. It was so much fun. I talked about a pair of men's tennis shoes because they were asking me about the breakdown. And the men's tennis shoes breakdown, you can get up to I think 80%. And I had a pair of Giuseppe. I'm sorry. Giuseppe. We'll just say Giuseppe. You know who Giuseppe is. Giuseppe men's tennis shoes that I sent in December. I got them at the Goodwill. There's 2 pretty close to the house and one that's a little bit further out that are on my hunting days. Although I'll tell you about that in a minute. I'm not thrifting as much as I was because the piles are building. And using Vindu, I've gotten a little better with listing. So anyway, I paid $7.20 for these. And they gave me 80% payout, so $123. So I made $115 process. Again, I apologize for my eyes going back and forth. It's because I'm looking at the computer screen. I wanted to include 3 things that aren't normally sold on the RealReal that's sold in the month of February. Well, one is it's a dress. It's this Pronovianus lace dress. It originally was listed at $275 in July. It didn't sell till February. It sold for $82.50, but because it was originally so high priced, I got $57.75. When I bought it in July, I paid $6.39 for it at Unique, which is also Savers, I think. I forgot to mention that this dress I sent in the first time. They sent it back, and it was my first lesson in if they send it back, you send it back. Another item that you'll see as we scroll through is this Tiffany Pewter Platter. It was from my neighbor. She had put it out on the trash. I think I talked about it in some other videos that I did. And it was beat up. But it was Tiffany, and it sold. I do believe the first person that bought it returned it. I sent it in November. Sold in February. It was listed for $65. They sold it for $52, and I ended up getting $36.40, which was 70%, because it was right when the commission thing changed back then and some stuff got messed up. Finally, this brick suitcase, I paid $14.40 for. It's a carry-on. I got it at the local Goodwill. They listed it for $155. I believe it might have sold like pretty soon after it was listed, because it did sell for the full price of $155, and I made $77.50. So those are just some things you don't think to look for while you're at the Goodwill or any other place sourcing, but make sure to check out the brands. And that is pretty much what sold in February. I will hopefully get a what sold in March out sooner than 4 months post. Thank you so much for watching this edition of Robyn2Resale, #TheLazyLister. Make sure to like and subscribe, share it with your friends, and I look forward to seeing you as we go on the next journey